And I am one of those people that have always had a love of writing. I was just telling the teen group, you know how when you were in elementary school and you did those what I did on summer vacation essays? Well, I grew up here in Houston, and I wrote how I went had a summer filled with drive-by shootings and elderly ladies getting mugged, and just how difficult life was for me. And my teacher was so moved that she called my mom and said, Reshonda's a good student. If there's anything I can do to help you all, let me know. And my mother said, drive-bys? Hood? What are you talking about? We live in a nice middle-class neighborhood. Proceeded to go off on the woman. So the teacher said, well, why would you make that and why would you write that? And I said, well, I went to summer camp and this sounded so much better. And so it was at that point that they explained the difference between fact and fiction. And my teacher said, you can't just go around making up stories. But I have always loved making up stories. And my mother calls it lying. But for me, it was just my imagination at work. And, you know, so growing up, I wanted to make up the stories. And my mother, I love her to death, but she is a walk the straight and narrow, gray, black and white type of person, and she didn't see any black people making money writing books. And she kept saying, you need to get a steady career because you cannot have a career writing books. You can never make money writing books. She told me that over and over. Now she's the main one talking about, when you going to buy your mama a car? But at the time, she wasn't feeling it at all. And so I went to college at the University of Texas at Austin, majored in broadcast journalism. When I graduated, I went to work for the National Enquirer, tabloid magazine, yes, as the paparazzi. I was the dreaded paparazzi. And I took the job thinking, you know, it's the Enquirer. I can get paid good money to make up some stuff. But believe it or not, they wouldn't let us just make up stories. We had to back it up by facts, but it was a lot of digging up dirt, and I just hated it. And my mother was so ashamed. She told people I worked for a CIA, top secret agency. And I just got to the point where I was running around digging up dirt on, we were trying to do a story on Oprah and Stedman getting married. And people were looking at me like disgusted. I cannot believe you a sister trying to bring another sister down. I said, you know what? I was put on this earth for a calling greater than this. So I gave my notice at the National Enquirer, came back to Houston, worked behind the scenes at Channel 13, then went to, I had always wanted to do in front of the camera, but the only thing I could find was behind the scenes. And I remember working at 13 behind the scenes, and every time one of the reporters go out, I'd see Melanie going out on the story. I find myself, I hope she trip and break her leg so I can go there. I know, it's horrible, but you know, I've grown in my walk with the Lord since then. But that's the way, and so I said, okay, if we're sitting here wishing bad things on good people, because Melanie's a great person, then it's time for you to do something about it. So I went to Beaumont and worked on the air. Was an anchor in Beaumont, then moved back to Houston, worked for Channel 2, moved to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma as an anchor and a reporter where I worked for 5 years. And then I had 2 kids, and I was like, I need my mama. Came back to Houston, worked for almost 5 years at Fox 26 News. I was a reporter there. And it just got to the point, though, my literary career, I was still writing books on the side. It really started to take off. And I got to the point where I was able to do, I got an invitation to do Tyra Banks' show. And I was so excited, and Fox said, nope, you can't do it. It's a conflict of interest. And I was just devastated, and I said, you know, if Oprah called me, I'm quitting. But I decided not to wait on Oprah after it was just one thing after another. I was having to turn down a lot of good opportunities, and so I decided to step out on faith.